Good morning. Today is April 29th, 2025. I just wanted to say that I do like Lady J, and people need to stop uh, coming at her sideways. She speaks the truth when it comes to modern women, their delusional behavior, and delusional expectations. Um, if women want to be taken seriously and be respected, then they need to act like a lady. And acting like a lady means dressing modestly and not having your face caked full of makeup. It also means that you don't sleep with every man that you come across. Being a lady means that you're not entitled to a man's money when you first meet the man on a date. When you go on a first date, a coffee date is the best way to go on a first date. It's a way to get to know somebody, and first impressions do matter. Um, as far as women saying body count doesn't matter, yes, it does. Because it's been scientifically proven in studies done by scientists that when women have sex with men, and that's unprotected sex, that that man's DNA, for every man that she sleeps with, that DNA stays in her body and it also stays here in her brain. And the more men you sleep with, the less likely you're to be loyal and faithful. Women today never take accountability or responsibility for their actions. And they tend to sleep with other men and then get with the provider man and pin that other man's baby on that provider man. And I'm all for mandatory DNA testing. I'm all for prenups. Now, my man is not wealthy by any means. Matter of fact, he he's what you would call a blue collar worker. He's been a security guard. He's worked in the hospitality industry and he's worked in warehouse. But now, if my man were a wealthy man and he asked me to sign a prenup, I would have no problem in doing so. A prenup does not necessarily mean that a man does not trust you. It is protecting his assets. And as far as I'm concerned, if you decide to split from that man, you're not entitled after 5 years of marriage or 1 year of marriage to half of his assets that he spent his entire life building. The way I see it with today's modern women, if you want to divorce your husband, then you leave with what you came with, which is nothing. Whatever you came into that marriage with is what you leave with. And women are asking, well, how come men don't help women when, like we need our tire changed if we have a flat tire on the side of the road? Why don't they help us carry our window AC unit into our apartment because it's heavy? I can tell you why. Because for years, women have been screaming that you're independent, you don't need no man, for men to leave you alone. And that's why men won't approach you. That's why men will not come up and ask you out. That's why men will not help you with a flat tire or helping you carry your window AC unit up into your house or help you put a bed frame together or whatever. And when you tell a man that, for him to give you space and he gives you space and you're like, well, obviously I wanted to talk. Well, he doesn't know that. When you say for him to give you your space, he's going to do that. Men are not mind readers, nor do men expect you to read their mind either. But you cannot demand respect from a man when you give none to a man who is a respectful person. But men are tired of paying your bills and providing for you. It's like I see these women on a lot of these YouTube videos saying, well, if he wants to date me, he better pay my rent, my bills, get my hair, my nails done. First of all, you're not even engaged to the man. Secondly, you're not his wife. And if a man pays your bills, then he's going to expect you to be loyal and faithful to him and sleep with him. But you want that man to pay your bills while you're out sleeping with other people. And it doesn't work that way. So you better load up on plenty of cat food, plenty of kitty litter, plenty of your boxed wine. Because at this rate, men are done. They're not going to marry any woman here in the West. And for a lot of the Western modern women who say that our men are going overseas to get stupid foreign women, let me tell you something. These women over in, say, the Philippines or Thailand, Ukraine, all these other places that men are going to, or Vietnam or Korea, they're very smart women. They're not uneducated. But those women dress modestly. They don't sleep with every man that they see. And they're very family oriented. They are willing to submit to their husbands. But submitting to your husband isn't being a slave. You're not being oppressed. I should know. I'm married. I've been married 10 years. My husband and I each take turns cooking. Even before he became disabled with a severe back injury. And he worked. He would take turns cooking with me, take turns doing the dishes. He takes the trash out because the trash gets really heavy. And with my arthritis, I can't do it. But we help each other. If you want your man to help with house chores, you must treat your man like he's a king. And in turn, he's going to treat you like a queen. You must be grateful and appreciative for what he does. And if he's working 60 hours or more a week, and you're sitting here complaining how he doesn't spend time with you, how he doesn't have enough time to help with the kids because he's so dog ass tired that he eats, showers, and goes to bed and repeats the same work schedule, or how he doesn't have time for vacations. It's because he's working his ass off to give you the life that you want, the house, to support the kids, to get that new car you want, to pay for whatever things that you need or that you want. But ask yourself this: what have you done for him? Have you gone out and just gotten his favorite aftershave or his favorite cologne as a thank you, a just because gift, and with a little note saying, "Thank you, I appreciate what you do"? Have you ever thought about making his favorite meal or his favorite dessert? And when he comes home, the minute he walks in that door, you're nagging and complaining. When he comes home, you should give him a hug and a kiss and saying, "Nice to see you, honey. I missed you." And then go, if he drinks beer, bring him a beer. If he drinks iced tea, go get him some iced tea. If he drinks soda, go get him a glass of soda. And let him just have some quiet time and unwind. And once he's relaxed and he's unwind, then you can ask him how his day was. But shut the hell up and be that man's peace. When you first meet somebody on a first date, a coffee date is the best way to get to know somebody, or going to a bar for a few drinks. And there's nothing wrong with a woman paying for her own drinks or her own dinner when she goes out on a date with a man. And when you go out on a date with a man, offer to give half for the dinner, or at least offer to pay the tip. And then men might consider dating. But you're like, "I don't want no man to tell me what to do. I don't want no man telling me how to dress." Well, when you dress like a whore and he's out with you, you're putting that man in danger, because he doesn't know that that other man that's sexually harassing you or coming on to you while you're out with him, he doesn't know if that man's got a knife or he's concealed carrying a gun, and he gets into it with that other man, you're going to end up getting him killed. And that would be your responsibility, and his life and the blood spilled by him protecting you from another man is on you. And to me, you just committed premeditated murder by doing that. They're not insecure. Men are not insecure. They're not really jealous. A lot of men are not that jealous, because men can replace you just like that. But men care how you dress and how you look, because when you go out with him, you are an extension or representation of him and his reputation. And when other people see him out with you dressed like a hoe, they're going to think that his reputation is shit, but you don't care. You say how you want equal rights and how you're so oppressed. Please explain to me, ladies, how you feel oppressed. You have far more rights, far more opportunities in jobs and in education. Matter of fact, colleges lowered their standards in testing so that women could attend college. The military lowered its standards so that women could join the military. They had to make exceptions for you. And the way I see it, when women were given the right to vote and women were also given these other little rights to be able to work and this, that, and the other, y'all took advantage of it in the worst way. And to me, because I've seen y'all take advantage of it in the worst way, I view it as the worst thing that anybody could have ever done was giving you the right to vote or giving you rights to go out and work so that you didn't have to be a homemaker and be dependent on your man. Men do not leave a marriage unless they have been financially abused, emotionally and mentally abused, physically assaulted by their wives, or unless here's the biggie, unless their wives are caught cheating. It takes a lot for a man to divorce a woman. It takes a lot for a man to cheat on his woman. But see, when a man cheats on his wife, men are sexual creatures. So when they have a mistress, it's nothing more than straight up sex for them. And they let their mistress know, I'm not going to divorce my wife for you. I love my wife. You're nothing more than just a side piece, a piece of ass. But when women cheat, it's not the same. Women cheat, it's because they're looking to replace their husband with somebody, quote, better. They think the grass is greener on the other side. And nine times out of 10, when they divorce their man to be with their side man, he dumps them because he doesn't want her. The only time he wanted her as long as she was married, because he had no attachments. And men do not want to marry single moms, and I'll tell you why. Because if you want that man to marry you and you expect him to provide for you and the kids, then he's going to be expecting to be able to discipline those children who disrespect him. But the minute he tries to correct those kids, then you single moms come out with your claws and rake his ass over the coals. How dare you discipline my kids? Well, your kids are spoiled and bratty. And no man is going to stick around and be a stepfather for kids who do not respect his authority as a man and who constantly remind him, well, you're not my dad. Men don't want that. And if you look in the wild, for example, lions, when the current male that's head of the clan, his clan, loses to another male lion, that new male lion that is now head of that clan will go and kill all the other cubs from the prior clan leader because he wants only his genetics. So men only want to have children with their wife, the woman that they're spending the rest of their life with. They don't want to raise somebody else's kids. And they don't want the drama of the baby daddy with single moms. But you single moms made the choice to spread your legs and have a baby with somebody that was not good father material. And some of them aren't. There's a lot of good men, though, who had kids with that single mother, but that single mother makes it impossible for him to be in that child's life. But I pray that one day all of the rights will be taken from you women, where you don't have the right to vote, you don't have the right to hold a political office, and that you'll be back in the kitchen, back in the house where you belong. And maybe then you might look back on your prior behaviors and how you fucked it up for everything, fucked it up for yourself. Because if all those rights were taken away from you and you were forced to be a housewife again, you might have a better appreciation and you might look at things right now as, well, gee, Mrs. Broyles was right. So was Lady Jane. We weren't oppressed. We should have appreciated the men in our lives. We should never have falsely accused them and ruined their reputations and made them lose their jobs and treated men like shit and blamed men for everything. Maybe then you might start taking accountability and responsibility for your actions or lack thereof. But I'm not holding my breath for that anytime soon. But for women like Lady J and myself, y'all need to stop coming at us sideways, because the only reason why you're doing it is because you know we're right. You know we're speaking facts. And women will never be equal to men until you can do the same jobs as a man can do, like, for example, working on an oil rig without crying, it's too hard, I can't do it. Until you can work those kind of jobs, then maybe you might be equal to a man. But men should be the only ones holding elected office. Men should be the only ones in charge of businesses because they're logical and analytical. They make decisions based on facts and evidence, not feelings. You women make the poorest decisions, and you make your decisions not on facts, not on the evidence that's before you, but on your feelings. Well, facts and evidence don't care about feelings, sweet. Unlike you modern women, I'm happily married of 10 years. And I'm not a slave to my man. I am not oppressed by my husband. But I'm happy. I may not have a lot of money. I may make 15,000 a year, but I'm happy. And I love my husband for who he is as a man, not what he has. And until you can start learning to do that and stop feeling entitled to a man's money that you don't know that you're meeting for the first date, and until you start behaving better and acting like ladies, not whores, then perhaps maybe men might reconsider marriage and dating with y'all. Get it? Got it? Good. Bye.